Good morning, everybody. How you doing today? Or good evening, good night, depending on where you're watching from. JR Fisher here, and I have been gone for a while. We just got back from a cruise, and I'm really excited about today because we're going to talk about ChatGPT. This is going to change the world. I'm telling you, it's going to change the world. If you're listening to me right now and you use the internet, you're going to use this. So you want to stick to the very end because I'm going to give you some pointers on it. But ChatGPT is taking over the world. That's what we're going to talk about today. If you haven't subscribed yet, let's say you haven't, please go down there and hit that subscribe button, turn it from red to gray. Don't forget to ring the bell, turn on all bell notifications so you're notified each and every time I go live or if I upload a new video. Man, I'm excited about today. I really am. And turn on, those bell notifications. Those are really important. Give me a thumbs up if you don't mind. ChatGPT, this is the most bizarre thing. I think it was like a month or two ago, I was listening on NPR. And there was a guy on there who said he invented this AI software, and that they were, trying it out and they were going to let the public use it. And then fast forward to today, and that's everything that's in the news now. ChatGPT is everywhere. And as of yesterday and the day before, Google and Bing also announced that they're going to have their own version of this AI. It's just amazing. So in this training today, I want to go through everything about it. And I can't exhaust it because we only got like 30 minutes, but I do want to go through it also so that you, when you leave here today, are going to have a better understanding of it. I do want you to ask questions. Please use that chat box over there. Ask me any questions you want. If you have comments, anything, if you just want to say hi and tell me what your weather is, I can tell you ours sucks today. It really does. It's rainy. It's cold. While we were gone, we were on a cruise, but while we were gone, we had an ice storm here in Texas. Man, you can't see it, but I've got branches down everywhere in my backyard. I mean, it demolished the city as far as the trees. So many of them are knocked down. They look terrible. So I've got to work on that. Got to get that worked on. And I think I'm going to have to do it all myself. To hire somebody right now, it's just ridiculous because every house in the entire city has damage. But we're lucky. We don't live in Ukraine, right? I mean, that's the luck part. Let me get a sip of my tea here before I get going. If you've heard of ChatGPT, please put a comment in that chat section. You can also do that if you aren't watching this live. You can still comment on there. But what have you heard about ChatGPT? If you have heard something, what have you heard? Do you understand what it is? Please put some comments in there. We've got new technology hitting us, and we can choose to either embrace it and help us and make our lives better and make ourselves more profitable. Or we can say, no, I don't want anything new. I'm not going to do that. I'm not dealing with that. And we can be left behind. So that's your choices today. Austin, what's going on? He says, let me put the comments on there so everybody can see it. That's unfair. He says, I've heard it will take over marketing jobs. I've heard a lot of varying things about ChatGPT, and I'm going to get into it just one second, but I do want to address what he's saying. I think some jobs are going to be affected. I really do. I think, it does animations. Okay. So if it can draw animations, people who make a living doing that are going to be affected. It can write blogs for you. It can do SEO for you. It's pretty scary what it can do, but here's what we can do, guys. If we're in one of those fields and we do one of those things, we can use ChatGPT to improve our position. I heard of one company that writes content for the internet, and they were writing, 6 or 7 blogs a day. That's all they could do. Now they're writing 10,000 blogs a day. So they used it to their advantage. So it really depends on how, if you embrace it, if you don't embrace it. But let's first off, let's get to the point where we want to talk about what it is. Okay. Some of you may not understand it. So I do want to get into that. What it is it's a new AI language processing tool. Now it's been trending since its launch. I think it was in November of 2022. And it also has an image creation thing called OpenAI's DALL-E. It's DALL-E. And that's another part of the project. Its most recent endeavor is to been on the minds of many of us for the past few weeks, because it's just everywhere. You can't open any news without seeing something about it. All the leading brands, Google, Microsoft, Meta, became the first and fastest to adopt the app online. Now, whether people use it to ask funny questions, see how well it can create content, or find correct content, It can even fix bugs in code. So if you've got a line of code and you want to fix the bugs in it, you can actually do that. And I do appreciate your comments, guys, so stick them in there. The AI chatbot can hold conversation text interactions with users by employing artificial intelligence. It can generate responses to questions, a feature that could eventually challenge search engines. And I think that's why they're all these search engines are jumping on it too, because they know they could be out of business. Imagine that you use ChatGPT and you say, I want specifically this information in a website that tells me how to do this, and it brings back one website, the one that does exactly what you want. Right now, if you type that into Google, you're going to get like 30 million hits, 20 million hits, whatever it is. So that's the advantage to ChatGPT over using a search engine. Now, there's no replacement for human interaction or verified sources of information. However, we don't really have that with Google. Okay, we don't have that with if anybody's using Bing out there, you don't have it with Yahoo. You don't have it with what's the one that blocks all your information? Gosh, I can't think of it. It's on the tip of my tongue. Somebody think of it. You can go ahead and put it in there. And let me get all these comments up here on the screen. All right, so we got another one here. Austin says, I see it helping marketers, to be honest, but you have to learn and implement it soon. Yeah, you don't want to be a late adopter to this. He's got a really good point. And I'm going to tell you at the end of this how to use it the most effectively. I've been doing some studying on it. DuckDuckGo, that's it. Thank you, Austin. I really appreciate it. Yeah, DuckDuckGo is the one I was trying to think of. It just, it slips your mind sometimes. So first off, let's talk about how to use it. Now here's the first problem I've seen, because I've already been in there. It's not always working. Okay. It doesn't always work. It has blockout times. Now you want to keep in mind that it can provide false information. AI is not without flaws. It's not perfect. Okay. And that's why I'm going to tell you at the end of this training today how to use it effectively so you get better information. First thing you got to do is create an open AI account. Now you just go to chat.openai, and I can't type it in .com, and I can't type it in because YouTube won't allow you to put links in there. But you just go to chat.openai.com and register for an account with an email address. Okay. You need to create an account to log in and interact with ChatGPT. So that's how it works. And then creating an account on OpenAI will give you access to ChatGPT. So that's how you're going to get to it. The next thing you want to do is you want to accept ChatGPT's terms. Once you've logged into your OpenAI account, you want to read through the terms and disclosure from ChatGPT and click next. Obviously, you cannot use it if you don't do this. Okay. It's so funny because we have all these long terms and conditions. Nobody reads them. They really don't. And, some of them could be damaging, but the only way you're going to be able to use it is if you, obviously accept it. And then the third thing, you just start writing. That's it. It's that simple, but it's not that simple. That's why I want to tell you some of the other information. Now that you know how to use it, it's really time to get started and ask the language models any burning questions you want. Now you can start off with simple questions. You could say, what is quantum physics? You could just say that if you wanted. You could say, write a poem about a headache in the style of Walt Whitman. Okay. You could say, write a country song about a dog named Kim who loves to play. You could say that. You could summarize books. You could say, summarize, Gone with the Wind book for me. You could say, write a note that says my child is sick and has to miss school. I mean, you could pretty much do anything, but that's not how you're going to use it effectively. I want to get into that, like I say, in the very end, but I want to walk you through all the steps of it first. And guys, I appreciate the comments. So keep those coming. I really do appreciate it. Now, ChatGPT is very good at doing a lot of jobs. And what Austin said in the beginning is very true. It is going to erase jobs. All technology erases jobs. When cars came along, it knocked out a lot of blacksmiths, and shoeing horses because everybody rode horses. There's no way to escape this stuff, guys. You can't put your head in the ground and say, well, I don't want that stuff going. I don't like that. And it doesn't matter whether you like it or not. It's still going to be there. So the only thing you can do to really benefit is to embrace it and learn it. So what else can you use it for? Your imagination really is the limit. You can have fun with it. The guy from ZDNet, David Gerwitz, he asked it to write a WordPress plugin for him. Others are using it to write malware. Not good. Of course, there's going to be bad with all technology. Here's a few tech ideas. You could say, write a song about, and then you could insert your topic, whatever it was, and then say, try adding multiple details. You could write a poem and then write whatever the subject is. And then you can add as many details as you want about the poem. You could ask it philosophical questions if you wanted. You could ask it to summarize ideas or concepts. Now, how are you going to access this? Like I said, all you have to do is go to chat.openai.com and log in. It's really that simple. If you're on OpenAI's website, you can log into your account and then scroll down until you see ChatGPT at the bottom left corner of the page and click on it. Now, the interesting thing is, does it cost money? Let me get a sip here. It is free to use for now. For now, it's free to use. Since the natural language processing model is still in its learning phase, people can use ChatGPT for free. All you need is the free OpenAI account. However, the company does plan to institute a pay plan in the future, but there's no word as of when yet. I will tell you this right now, it's costing them $100,000 a day to run this software, which is about $3 million a month. So what is that? $36 million a year. They obviously have to monetize this. There has also been a new option that they've talked about to have unlimited access without blackout windows. There's a lot of blackout windows right now. You'll also get faster responses and at least twice the regular daily use limit for about $20 a month. I think it's well worth it. I definitely will sign up for it. $20. I don't know how you can go wrong. So, that's what it looks like the future is going to be. It's really a large language model that uses artificial intelligence to hold text conversations with users. And that's what I want to tell you at the very end of this today. Those text conversations are really important. The human-like responses are useful when translating from one language to another, looking for instructions on how to do something, and generalization of written content. It's also able to write anything from songs to cover letters. So yeah, anybody who writes blogs, anybody who writes articles easily could be replaced. They say that Google is trying to work on software that can tell if it was written by AI, but you could take a piece of content now and you can run it through filters that shows what you need to change. It may say, well, this is 80% written by AI or it's 20% or whatever. And you can make a few changes in there and it's going to look pretty good. And you'll probably get past all those things. Basically, it works through reinforcement of learning of human feedback. And that's actually a term. Let me say that again. Reinforcement learning with human feedback. So it's RLHF. You're going to hear this a whole lot. RLHF. It intelligently processes its environment using human demonstrations and adapts to different situations with learned desired behaviors. Gosh, that sounds complicated, doesn't it? But we're all going to know this. I promise you guys, we're all going to know this in a matter of no time. We're going to know this. I got another comment I need to stick up there. Hi, everyone. Hope everyone is having a good day. And I see it as a double-edged sword. It chose to use it for good. Yeah, it chose to use for good. That's very true. And I think that's true with every single piece of technology. I was with a friend of mine in Miami. I just went on a cruise to a bunch of islands and I stopped and saw him in Miami. And he said to me, which something I thought was really profound. He says, social media is antisocial. What? He says, social media is antisocial. I said, what do you mean? He says, when you're on your phone, when you're on your computer, when you're on your iPad, whatever it is, you are pulling yourself away from society. You're not interacting with people. You're not learning how to communicate. He says, that's the problem with a lot of kids nowadays is they're antisocial because they're always on social media. Isn't that weird? Isn't that weird? The one thing that was supposed to make us interact with more and more people, and it does, keeps us from knowing how to interact with somebody one-on-one. So true. Let's see here. Dusty says right now they're changing to generate pictures using DAL. Yes, I just talked about that. I don't know if you came in a little bit late, but it's DAL dash E, DAL dash E, and yeah, it's going to be generating pictures too. And I like that you guys are really informed. I think this is really cool that there's people on here that are informed and they know what's going on. So many people stick their head in the ground, guys. Now, the next question is, does ChatGPT give wrong answers? It can and it can't. ChatGPT can give inaccurate and incorrect information. So it really is very important that you double check all the information it gives you. It's always learning from the text data it is provided. So we are building it right now. As we use it, we are building it. So it can be prone to misinformation for that reason. OpenAI recommends users provide feedback on what ChatGPT tells them using the thumbs up button in the order to improve what results you're getting. So they're actually saying, help us out with this. Now, ChatGPT or human text. Here's one surprising way to tell the difference. If you're wondering, okay, and this is how the search engines are going to figure this out, the AI chatbot is also not connected to the internet and unable to determine the current date. So asking ChatGPT how many days until Easter won't get you an exact number of days. Kind of interesting, right? Because I thought, well, it's connected, it knows everything the internet knows, but that's not the case. Why is ChatGPT saying my access is denied? Now that's going to happen too. So access to ChatGPT can be denied for various reasons. Mine was denied one time by using a VPN. Okay, so I use a VPN to protect my security and all that, and it blocked me out. Let's see here. I'm trying to make sure. Okay, make sure I get all the comments. And guys, keep those comments coming. I love to have them in there. If you're getting a message when you're logging into the language model saying your access denied, it could be for several reasons. I think you guys need to know this, because if you get locked out, at least you can look at these. Violation of API's terms and service, okay, whatever that may be. User trying to access an unavailable version of GPT. That's another one. The API key may be invalid. User has exceeded the usage limits, because you're going to have limits in the beginning. Violation of the OpenAI API terms of service. So you need to do that. Now I asked it to write a WordPress plugin for me, and it did it in less than 5 minutes. Can you imagine that? All these people who sell all of these plugins, you could go to ChatGPT and say, I want a WordPress plugin that does this for me, and it's just going to write it for you. What is that going to do to all those plugins? What's it going to do, guys? That is some weird stuff. ChatGPT is changing everything, but it still has its limits. Okay, it can't do everything yet. Okay, the new subscription service I'm going to be really interested in. If you're a fan of ChatGPT but tired of finding the AI chatbot at capacity, you're in luck, because when they do the paid version, I don't think they've done it yet. But OpenAI, the company behind the buzzy new tool, is launching the ChatGPT Plus, which is going to be a paid service. And like I said earlier in this training, I think it's going to be around $20, something like that. Let me get a little sip here. So for 20 bucks, it's well worth it, I think. And the best AI art generators, like somebody said in here, is DAL-E. And that's an alternative to it. The program is cheaper than some are expecting. An early access user has shared a video of the paid version, revealing a subscription to cost about $42 a month. OpenAI says it will continue to offer the free version of ChatGPT no matter what, but they're going to have a paid version also. They said in their blog post, and I quote, we are actively exploring options for lower cost plans, business plans, and data packs for more availability. They're going to make billions, maybe trillions of dollars. They're going to make a lot of money. For developers who want to integrate the chatbot capabilities into their own products, OpenAI will soon launch a ChatGPT API, and you can find a wait list. I can't, let's see here. I have the link for it, but I can't post it. There's no way for me to post that, is there? Let me see if there's a way for me to show you what it looks like here. And I think I can. Nah, there's not going to be a way for me to do that. But what you want to do is, shoot, there's just no way to get to that, unfortunately. But basically, if you search OpenAI ChatGPT API waitlist, let me put that in there. You want to search this, and then you're going to come to this form, and it's going to, you put in your name and all the other good stuff, email. I'm going to put this in the chat box here. Just search, boom, this term right here, guys. And this should get you what you want. Okay, so I just put it on the screen there. Let me put it up on this screen so everybody can see it. If you search OpenAI ChatGPT API waitlist, you will come to the form that I'm referring to. So you'll want to do that as soon as possible, because I don't know when the rollout's going to be, but it's pretty interesting stuff. Now, I want to talk about how to use this thing. Hang on one second. There's two parts to conversing with ChatGPT. Okay. The first part is called prepping, and the next part is called prompting. So you got prepping and you got prompting. What is prepping? Prepping is when you have a conversation with it, because understand that you're training. So let's say you go to ChatGPT and you say, I want to write a poem about the springtime. Do you understand? And you finish it with, do you understand? And it's going to come back and it's going to say, yes, I understand. You want to write a poem about springtime. You say, great. You say, I want the poem to be one of early spring when everything is blooming. Do you understand? And it's going to come back and it's going to say, yeah, I understand that you want early spring when things are all blooming. So then you say, I want you to write the poem in a dark type of attitude, something like Edgar Allan Poe. Do you understand? And it's going to come back and say, yes, I understand you want a dark mood, something like Edgar Allan Poe. Okay. And then you may say, okay, go ahead and write a poem for me and make it no more than 400 words and separate the paragraphs and break it down into the different stages of early spring. And then that's your prompt. And then it's going to come up with the results. Now think about that. I did prepping first. I literally had a conversation with them first. And then I actually asked it the prompt. So there's prompting and there's prepping. You got to prep it with a conversation and then you prompt it. James Mason says, I want to make $1 million this year. Do you understand? Yes, I understand. And you can. Guys, if you are early adopters with ChatGPT and you start watching videos on how to work this, you can write blogs for people. You can do images for people. You can write books you can do all kinds of stuff with ChatGPT. You've got to be an early adopter. I know I'm going to be right in there. I'm going to be on top of it. I'm going to learn it. I'm going to know how to do it. I'm going to watch videos. I want to do everything I need to do to take advantage of this. Dusty, what's going on, buddy? I see you guys later. Got stuff I got to take care of. All right, we will miss you. But we are piling in more and more people. There seems to be a real growing interest in ChatGPT. Now, guys, I'm sure that Google is going to have a pretty darn good version. I'm sure that Bing's going to have a pretty darn good version. They say that the biggest problem with all of these AIs is bias. And there's bias in everything. Okay. There's bias in everything we do. And we know that in life. To have something totally unbiased is impossible. I know, like Elon Musk tried to buy Twitter and say, well, I'm going to make it totally open forum and all that. But then he started blocking people and saying, well, you can't do this, you can't do that. There's no such thing as totally unbiased anything. So understand when you're putting information into, and I've already seen examples. My wife was showing me some examples where people would ask ChatGPT particular questions and they were all biased. And I won't say what those questions were. They were the kind of things that would make your hair on the back of your neck stand up, because you're like, oh, okay, that's what they're doing. And it seemed like it had some political bias to it. With that being said, the first cars were not that great either. Okay. They didn't go very fast and they were very bumpy and you had to crank them to start them up. So don't shy away from ChatGPT because there's some biases there. Don't shy away from it because it's not perfect. Nothing is perfect. You got to understand that nothing is perfect, but you take from it what is good. You take from it what is useful. You take from it what is going to do you some good, and then you move forward. So that is my synopsis. But remember, when you start using ChatGPT, do prepping and then ask your prompt. Don't go in there unless you just want a question answered. Don't go in there and just ask it one thing. If you're asking it to do a task for you, write a blog for you, write a poem for you, write a song for you, whatever it is, if you're asking it to do that, make sure you prep it with all the information. The more prepping you do, and at the end of every prep, just say, do you understand? Do you understand? And it's going to come back that it understands. And what it's doing is it's taking in that information. It's processing that information so that when you finally prompt it and say, do this thing, whatever the thing is, it's going to use it based on all the prepping you gave it. I mean, you could ask it, 20, 30 different questions before you actually prompt it to actually physically do anything. So keep that in mind. And let's see, somebody else got a comment in here. Starbucks, what's going on? I hadn't seen you in a little bit. Of course, I haven't been here either, have I? I've been gone for 13 days, something like that. It's been a while. Google is working on perfecting AI video creations. Can't wait. That's cool. That's very cool. But guys, I know all of us are scared about losing money or losing our jobs and all that. Nothing replaces the personality of a real human. I almost use with these video creation things that would create videos around your product, but man, it looked fakey. It just looked fakey. It sounded fakey. I was like, I can't do this. It would have helped me a lot because I could have created a whole lot of videos for my food products. And if you don't know, let me put this in here so you guys know what company I own. Survivalcave Food, long-term food storage. Yeah, I sell, we manufacture and sell the best canned meats in the world. I mean, we really do. We've been around for going on 13 years now. So guys, if you don't know about that, check that out. Actually 12 years. Yeah, 12 years. I said 13. Really good product. We've sold millions and millions of dollars of that. And I don't know if you know it, but this channel is geared around what I do in that company. You say, well, JR, you teach people how to make money online. You don't sell survival food. I don't, but everything I learned at that survival food company about marketing online, that's what I'm teaching on this channel, guys. So it's not theory. It's not conjecture. It's not something I just came up with. It is all things that I learned over at Survivalcave Food. And that way, I can actually train you guys on how to do stuff that I'm actually doing in my business every single day. And I want you to know, whether you're watching this live or whether you're, just coming back later on, maybe a day or two later, you can still comment below. You can still ask me questions. I love to get your comments. I love your questions. I really do, guys. So please, please, please put that below. And I want to also do a survey too. And you can put it in the comment section. You can put it in the chat. And I want you to put yes podcast or no podcast. Would you be interested? We'll just put yes podcast if you're interested. Would you be interested in me doing a podcast? I have a bunch of people that are lined up that I could do interviews with. And I'm thinking about starting a podcast. I've shied away from it for a long time, but I feel like instead of just giving my information, you guys may be interested in a lot of experts in a lot of different fields. So what I'm looking for is your input. Yes, podcast, please. Okay, so I already got one in there. Guys, any of you interested, please put it in the comment section. Please put it in the chat section. And I am thinking about doing it. It will probably be weekly to start with, and we'll kind of see how it goes from there. And I don't mean we'll see if it works out, because I know Joe Rogan proved it worked out. But what I'm saying is, as far as my time and allocation time, because I want it to be really good. I think I'll probably post snippets of it on YouTube. And I'll also have the full podcast, obviously, on my podcast, and that'll just be the audio. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking about doing. If you guys are interested, just put yes podcast, and I will start working on that. I'm already starting to get some education on it. My wife already has a great podcast called the Pet Parenting Reset. Let me put this in here so you guys know. If you have a pet, this would be of interest to you. If you don't, it wouldn't be. Pet Parenting Reset. So if you search that on any of the known podcast sites, Apple Podcasts or Google Podcasts or whatever, well, I don't know them because I don't do it, but you're going to find her stuff. I think you'd find it really interesting if you have a pet. Okay, if you got a dog or a cat, it'd be a great thing to listen to. If you're not interested in that, don't go. Don't bother with us. Okay, it wouldn't be a thing to do. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, let me know. Show me some love in the chat. Show me some love in the comment section. Type in there, I love it. Whatever you want to type. Say hello to me. All those things matter. Don't forget to subscribe. And I'm going to be doing more on ChatGPT. This isn't, exhaustive at all. I mean, there's so much to learn about ChatGPT, and I want to actually take you guys through some examples and show you how I do stuff on ChatGPT, and I'll be recording that. Okay, appreciate it, guys. I'm going to come back on Friday, which is the 10th of February. So today is the 8th. I'll be back on Friday. If you have subjects that you want me to cover, put that in the chat section, put that in the comment section, and I'll be happy to do some videos on those subjects, provided I know something about it, or I can also do some research on it too. Thank you so much for being here today, guys. Great group. Really appreciate each and every one of you. Love every one of you. You guys have a great day, and I'll see you on Friday.